So, last week I was at the gym, and the gym has over 20 TVs on the workout floor, the gym that I frequent. Well, I go in the afternoon. I live by a couple of schools, so I have to kind of plan my gym adventures when the schools are not busy picking up the children, right? So, go in the afternoon, and what should I happen to see on one of the televisions just plop down right there in my lap for me to criticize is this individual you see on the right side of the screen right now with the word they written on one cheek and the word them written on the other cheek at the opening of the Dr. Phil show. And I knew that I had to say something about it because this is just ridiculous. So I used to watch Dr. Phil when he first came on the air. I used to think, oh, this is great. You know, there's like somebody out there who wants to help America and help people get over their emotional, psychological problems. It's great. But after a few years, I realized that he was all about the ratings and he wasn't actually offering advice for your average everyday person, but he's trying to get, people to watch his show. So everything has to be sensationalized. And now he has not only dipped his toe and he's dived in head first to the pronouns rhetoric that we have been inundated with in our country here over the last few years. Wow, this is, it's a slow Tuesday, right? And he's got a gift. I wanted to say something about this earlier, but there's been so much going on. There's so many things. It's just the pile gets bigger and bigger. I just don't have enough time in the day to deal with a full-time job and all the things that I do, and then also put out videos. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate everybody coming by, period. But if you could, watch the video to the very end because that helps the algorithm. But let's dive into this segment from Dr. Phil. This is a little short clip here, about 5 minutes long, where this is Matt Walsh, who I think I have seen on the Tim Pool program. But otherwise, I don't know anything about him. And then there's this thing here on the right, and I don't know anything about this creature other than it appears to be a man who likes dressing in drag. Let's see what these people have to say.
You're saying that there should be no construct of gender, just sex. You're either male or female.
Right.
And someone feeling in a mental, emotional way that they don't identify with the sex that they have been biologically created as and assigned at birth based on their genitalia, if they don't feel that way, that there's no construct that describes that, experiences that.
Well,
yes, Dr. Phil, that's what he's saying. Now, I would go so far as to say that Matt is speaking generally. I don't know for sure, but giving him the benefit of the doubt. There are hermaphrodites, but it's my understanding that hermaphrodites do feel one way or the other, and they say, I'm a man or a woman. They don't go around using they, them pronouns. And Dr. Phil here using all the correct language. You notice that. He's like, oh, yeah, the gender they were assigned at birth based on their reproductive organs. Dr. Phil actually has a medical degree. He was a medical doctor before he became a psychologist. He did not like being a medical doctor, so he went and he got a psychology degree. I was a fan of Dr. Phil at one time. Believe me, that was a long time ago. You see the 20 down here on the lower left-hand side of the screen? Yeah, he's been around for 20 years. I gave up on him more than 15 years ago. So, yeah, I learned my lesson real quick. Garbage. This guy just peddles in garbage. The only reason to watch his show is for stuff like this, where you can use it to make interesting YouTube videos. So let's see what Matt has to say about there's only two genders.
that's got nothing to do with the reality. So you can feel however you want. I mean, I could sit here and say that I feel like a tomato plant, but that doesn't mean that I'm actually in those things. So you're
You notice the smug smile here? Let's rewind that. Look how smug this thing is. Oh, look, oh, so smug. The fake eyelashes, I love that part. Yeah. The fake eyelashes with the beard and the chest hair. That's stunning and brave, let me tell you. Stunning and brave.
like a tomato plant, but that doesn't mean that I'm actually in those things. So your self-perception, you can have whatever self-perception you want, but you can't expect me to take part in that self-perception or to take part in this kind of charade, this theatrical production. You don't get your own pronouns, just like you don't get your own prepositions or your own adjectives. You know, it's like if I were to tell you, my adjectives are handsome and brilliant, and no matter whenever you're talking about me, you have to describe me as handsome and brilliant because that's how I identify. It makes no sense. You don't get your own pronouns. That's grammar. That's language.
So you think it's
I don't care what Dr. Phil has to say about this. Let me expand on what Matt Walsh just said. The deal is, you forcing this on me is you're forcing your religion onto me. If you have proof that I am incorrect and that we need to change the language, okay, bring it. But you have no proof. You are trying to force me to do things your way. If a Christian came down and said to me, hey, you have to worship the way that I want you to worship. You have to do the things I want you to because I am the righteous one. I am the one who's correct. If a Muslim came to me and said, I am the righteous one, you must do things my way. If a Jewish person came to me and said the same thing, you must do things my way, I am the righteous one. Screw you. I'm not doing things your way. And we have that in this country. You don't have to stand around and let people tell you what to do based on their religion.
it's a delusion. Someone is self-delusional.
Yeah, I think it's delusion. It could be mental illness. It could be it's a lot of different things. With children, there's also.
Yes, you notice the smug wow there. Yes, this thing here is so self-confident because this person, whatever this is, has the moral high ground on Dr. Phil's stage. Just watch, you'll see the smugness, the confidence, the overconfidence. It's crazy.
Just a basic confusion that all kids have. Like that's why when you hear a parent say, "Oh, my 4-year-old son came to me and said that I'm a girl now, and so that's what I'm gonna raise him as a girl." No, you're a 4-year-old. I have 4 kids. When a 4-year-old boy comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm a girl," here's a good follow-up question. What is a girl? Ask him what he means by that. What do you mean by girl? And when you ask him that, here's what he'll tell you. He will tell you what he really means is that he wants to do some of the things that girls do, like play with the dollhouse, or he likes the color pink. That's fine. Play with the dollhouse, but you're still a boy.
Yeah, you're still a boy. Like I said this in a previous video. Kids are stupid. Kids are really stupid. When I was a little boy, I thought, you know what? When I grow up, I'm going to get a sex change, so I know what it's like to kiss a man with a mustache. I'm not joking. I really believed I was going to do that. Of course, as an adult, I know you don't need to get a sex change to kiss men. I have no interest in knowing what it's like to kiss a man with a mustache now. So, fortunately, I outgrew that, and there's way better ways of dealing with these sorts of things in life. And just understanding that children are stupid. That was the actual idea that I had. That's a stupid idea.
And that's a question I would like to throw out to other members of the panel, actually, because just like the 4-year-old can't answer what is a girl. Well, this is one of the problems with this left-wing gender ideology, is that no one who espouses it can even tell you what these words mean. Like, what is a woman?
Well,
can you tell me what a woman is?
No, I can't.
Yes, there you go. Words have no meaning. The emperor has no clothes. So if this person can't tell you what a woman is, then why are you demanding that I use your pronouns? You don't even know what words mean. See, words to these people have no meaning. So why does it matter so much that I use the appropriate pronoun with these things? It can't, possibly, because to these things, words have no meaning. So,
Because it's not for me to say. Womanhood looks different for everybody.
What do you define a woman as?
An adult human female.
And what does a female mean?
Well,
how
that's
do you define a
someone
female?
with female reproductive organs.
now, he made a mistake there because a person could be born with reproductive organs that are not fully formed or somehow different from the standard female reproductive organs, but still be female in their chromosomes, in their genes. So that's what he needs to start off with, is saying, look, it's in your genes, it's in your chromosomes. You got XX, you're a girl, XY, you're a boy. It's that simple. We know that now. Now, if you want to look back through history, we didn't know that. But they were more sure of what a female was. 100 years ago, they were more sure what a female was than we are today. Apparently. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Everybody knew what a girl was 100 years ago. There was no question. Now it's like, oh my gosh, we don't know what a girl... We can't... That's not for me to say. I don't know. I don't know what a woman is. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's for somebody else to decide whether or not they're a girl. But you can't even... If you can't define it, then there's nothing to talk about. It's like, what is a klubadu? Oh, I don't know. That's for somebody else to define. Oh, it's for somebody else to define. Well, will you know when you see it? You can't answer that question. As soon as you say, I don't know what a woman is, then you won't know when you see it. These people are walking around acting like, oh, yeah, this is just like, oh, there's no determining what a female is. Bull crap. You all know what a girl is. And oh my gosh, there might be some people who are fooling you. They might be dressed up like a woman, and you might think they're a woman, but they're actually not. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Well, welcome to Clown World.
Okay.
Someone who's, here's the thing. When you're female, it goes right down to your bones, your DNA. So that's why if someone dies, we could dig up their bones 100 years from now. We have no idea what they believed in their head, but we can tell what sex they were because it's ingrained in every fiber of their being.
Yep. There you go. Science can tell you the gender of a person who's been long dead. But these things on the stage, across from Matt Walsh, sitting next to Matt Walsh, can't do that.
So I'm trying to understand. your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct. Is a
Okay.
biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? You know, cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question.
See how it's trying to sidestep the situation, the conversation, by saying, oh, well, look, there are some women who can't reproduce, therefore they're not women. That's not what Matt Walsh said. Matt Walsh said, hey, you have female reproductive organs. Doesn't mean you can reproduce them. You can have male reproductive organs that don't work. You can have female reproductive organs that don't work. Doesn't mean you're not that gender.
You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not
But you
myself.
used the word. So what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right?
I think what this thing said right there was, I love the interruptions, right? But the fact of the matter is you bearded thing here that we see on the screen right now, you are forcing your religion onto other people and saying, you must abide by my religious doctrine or else you are an evil person. And as soon as you said that, without any evidence, you deserve to be interrupted as much as possible because you have nothing to say. You can't even define the words you're talking about. You can't even define the word you're asking about, woman. You're asking about woman, you can't even define it.
So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an
Doesn't even define as a woman. So what are you, a man? Then if you're a man, so why are you wearing makeup and fake eyelashes and high heels? And so you're a man in drag. What are you?
umbrella term. It includes people
That
who
describes what?
identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
You've already said you can't define what a woman is. You said that. There's no such thing as women. So it's like saying, hey, look, a circle is a circle. No, circles are things that identify as circles. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me at all. What the hell is wrong with you people?
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
That doesn't-
And so
I'm not
trans
asking
women are women too.
Okay.
Hear the clapter and the cheers. Now, all these responses from the audiences are prompted on these shows. All of them. It's like they have the same thing with sitcoms. That's why you hear different laughter, because the people are prompted to laugh at the different jokes. But I'm willing to bet that most of the people in the audience do agree with this thing on the stage. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on the Dr. Phil show.
And you want to hold on.
Again, trans
You
women
want
are
to
women.
reduce.
What you
Listen,
won't even tell me
you
what
want
the
to
word
reduce.
means, though. So
you
that's
want
the
to reduce
problem.
women. You want to reduce men down to maybe just their genetics, our genitals,
No.
our chromosomes, right? That's what you're
What
saying.
you want to do is
that's what
what you want to do is appropriate women. You want to appropriate womanhood,
Okay.
and turn it into basically a costume that can be worn.
Do you have
Yep. Exactly. So then it cuts to Dr. Phil saying, hey, you got an interesting story, come to my show. Now, I saw this at the gym, and I was like, oh, man, I wish I was done with my workout so I could be at home and watch this. I wonder if there's a way I could find out where I could download this and do a video on it. I don't know. But I did get home 15 minutes before the show ended. Now, Dr. Phil, the show is loaded with just advertisements and promotions and all this other stuff. So you get very little show. I've seen it a couple times over the lockdowns for one reason or another. I don't know. And I've noticed it's like, wow, what I remember from 15, 20 years ago, there was a lot more show, a lot less commercial. Now it's more commercial than it is show. It's like 50. It's like you get 33 minutes of show or something like that. It seems like it's not very much. But Dr. Phil, at the end of the show, he says, we need to keep an open dialogue about this. We need to keep talking about it. No, you don't need to keep talking about it. It's like talking about flat Earth. There's nothing to talk about. The Earth is not flat. The Earth is a sphere, roughly. There's nothing to talk about here. There's two genders, roughly. That's it. You don't need to talk about this anymore. This is some sick, twisted religion that people are forcing you to adhere to. I don't have to adhere to your religion in the United States. We're a secular nation. I don't have to do that. Not only that, but these people are so bizarre because they had another person on the show, a woman. As far as I can tell, she was a single woman. She's raising her child without acknowledging the child's gender. I know what reproductive organs the child has. I'm not going to call my child a he or a she, and I'm not going to give my child a male name or a female name or dress the child in a female way or a male way. I'm going to leave that up to the child. Your child is going to be horrendously emotionally disturbed. John Money already went through this by trying to say that gender does not exist until puberty. You're going to just destroy the life of this person. And this individual who is doing this to their child needs to be charged with child endangerment, and the child needs to be put into foster care where that kid can be raised in the correct gender that it is, whatever that is, based on what it has between its legs. That's what these people are so insane. But the thing is like, I'm an uncle. I am an uncle. I'm also a nephew. Can anybody out there go down in the comments and please tell me what the gender neutral term is for uncle or nephew? Oh, I could say, yeah, my mother's sibling. Oh, your mother's sibling. So your aunt or your uncle? I don't know which. Okay. My sister's child. Your sister's child, is that a boy or a girl? You know, these things exist for a reason, so we understand what people are doing. You want to say, oh, yeah, well, it doesn't matter at all. People can do whatever they want to do. There's girls' football, and there's boys' ballet, and yes, these things do exist. If I was more savvy when I was younger and I was asked to be in a ballet troupe, I would have said yes. But I was pretty naive and pretty self-conscious, and I didn't say yes when I was in my early 20s, and this woman approached me and said, hey, I need you to join my ballet troupe because you have a lot of muscle, and you need to teach the boys in my troupe how to build up that muscle so they can lift the girls. But didn't do that. So, hey, that's all the past. I digress. So, yeah, please tell me what the term is used for me, since I for this thing on the stage here for Dr. Phil. You know what, Dr. Phil, if you really want this, if you really freaking want this, you want to keep this dialogue open, you really want this to be a thing, stop using male pronouns for yourself. Well, it doesn't apply to me. I think, I have an open mind about this, and it's all right if somebody else feels this way and that, but, I am definitely, no. You want to erase all of human understanding of gender? Say it's all wrong? Then there cannot be any men. There cannot be any women. We're all just things. We're just it's. All of us are an it. Doesn't matter anymore because you can't define it. What is a woman? I don't. That's not for me to say. I don't know. I just flabbergasted. It's like, it's like understanding what an alien is. That's something that's just from out of this world. You people, pull your heads out of your freaking asses. This needs to stop now. Like I said, it's like flat Earth. No bearing on reality at all. Yet people are gonna espouse it from every fiber of their being. I'm so infuriated right now. Anyway, thank you very much again for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.